Hi friends, Vineet Bolinchka here, and today we are going to undertake a study of multi-timeframe analysis using Reliance Industries technical analysis. So without much ado, let's get on with the understanding of the multi-timeframe analysis. So if you notice, since 2008, Reliance was in a consolidation zone. And I have drawn this downward sloping trend line, which was acting as a resistance level. Now you'll notice that this trend line was broken out here, but unless and until the horizontal line or a much less steep line of resistance was not broken, we could not have gone long on this stock. So this stock, although it gave a breakout here, okay, validity of this breakout was when the nearest stock was taken out, and then started a long bull market in uh, November 2016, which has gone on till today. Okay, now let's see how the price of Reliance has moved up. The price of Reliance has moved up with barely any, uh, any kind of retracement. So we've had a 2 month retracement at best in most of the places. Here we had a long consolidation zone, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 to 8 weeks, and after that we had a very violent breakout, okay, when the stock peaked at 1417. Now if you use the Gann form of analysis, what you will notice is that typically there are three forms in a market, or as Gann says, you can have maximum 3 to 4 rallies. So here you had one rally, which was the first one, then you had a consolidation phase, then you had a second rally up here till 1338. Then you had a consolidation out here, and then the market went on to peak at 1417. Okay, notice one thing: the first leg is longest, second is slightly shorter, and the third leg is shortest. Now, this is very important for us to analyze. And whenever the breakdown happens, as per Gann, the breakdown will be larger than the largest leg. So, if this large leg started at 473 and went on till the high of 957. So you have 957 minus 473, which is about 484 breakdown would be, and it would be faster than this breakdown. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So within 10 months, if the breakdown does occur, the fall will be about 484 points. And if we minus from the peak of 1417, we get a typical target of 933. Let's mark this on the chart because this is very important. Okay, so as per Gann, this 933 level is the minimum retracement that the stock of Reliance should do if the trend were to have got over at 1400 levels. Okay. Additionally, what we have done is we've used a traditional form of analysis. So we've got this channel going there. Of course, there's a violation out here of the channel, but this top and top, that is 1 and 3, meet very perfectly. So we've used that channel. We have to use what works. And parallel to this channel, we have drawn another channel, right? So this channel line, which is drawn below, will serve as a target line in case this channel gets broken. So this, as far as the total analysis is concerned. Secondly, what we have done is we have also drawn the minimum retracement lines uh, based on Fibonacci retracements. So from the low of the start of the rally to the peak, we have projected down, and you get a minimum retracement level of which is of 1198. So let's draw this also, because this is as per Fibonacci retracements where you expect a minimum retracement level of, you know, 23%, and ideally as per Gann it should be around 33%. Okay, so this 33% level would be somewhere around this level, right? So this, from the technical analysis of the long-term trend of Reliance, we get three levels which we are looking at. If this trend is over, then the minimum retracement we are looking at is about 1198. Uh, then we have another level which is 1113. And as per Gann, if that actually trend is over, the stock price would break 937 minimum side over the next 10 months. And we have already seen we are in the third month of the form. So this is as far as the monthly chart analysis of Reliance goes. Now, mind you, I am using the term breakdown, but the trend so far has not broken, but there is a danger that it will break. So let's go one more time frame lower, that is on the weekly levels, and see what we have in the offing. So just like I had showed you forms 1, 2, 3 for uh, the monthly charts. Similarly, if you notice, wave 1 or the form 1 has got typically 3 moves in the same direction. Normally, there would be 3 to 4 moves. In this chart, we have got 3, which is the requisite. Then we had a consolidation phase. Then you had the second larger form on a larger time, and then you have the third form. Now, the third also has got 1, 2, and 3 waves to the top, right? So these are the critical things that I wanted to show you. I'm not done much more deeper analysis into the weekly chart because the daily chart itself has, the monthly chart itself has been very, very well covered. Now let's come to the daily charts. So you will notice that I've drawn a string of lines out here, right? But hang on, let me explain what I've done. Okay, so first what we have done is we drew these two blue trend lines. Okay, this one and this one, and this is giving you the diagonal formation which is at the end of a very large run. Now typically a diagonal channel is formed at the end of a run. Okay, and after that we had a violent breakdown, which is in post market action that we need while analyzing uh, a post pattern confirmatory signal. Okay, now let us see what are these other lines that I have drawn. So if you notice, we had a double top here, 1417. This high was 1376, and this high was 1414. So we had a double top out here, or there was another top at 1413 also out here. So we had a typically three triple tops. After the trend breakdown, you had a violent move, then a sharp pullback, then the market made another double top. Typically while drawing double tops, you should always use either the body and the peak of the chart, okay, which is testing for rough movements that we see in markets due to momentum. So you have double top here, which was lower than this distribution level. Okay, price could not sustain this. Then it made one, two, a double top. So it was range bound. Then it broke that band. Now it's very interesting. Once it broke this level, notice how the stock stays below this level. So what was serving as a support turned out to be a resistance line. And now here you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 tops with 1, 2, 3, and a breakdown of the 4th top. Okay, so you had 3 significant levels being broken down, right? And Then you have this other trend line which I've drawn, which is joining the significant swing bottoms. So you have one, two, three, and fourth bottom, which has turned out to be hazy. But as I told you, until the horizontal line is not broken, we do not say that the bottom has been taken out, the red trend has broken. So while on the short run at this 1250, this line has been broken, but you know, we are very close to the long term trend line, which has been serving as a support zone. So break of that is now very crucial. Now, in case that trend line gets broken, then what happens? So we've drawn multiple horizontal lines in red, which would be our uh, target levels on the downside. But before that, let's understand this yellow box which I have drawn out here. This yellow box is nothing but the gap up which we had seen in the markets, and notice that it came into the gap but never could fill it up. And this gap is so it's 1300 odd levels and 1290. And mind you, if you go and zoom in out here, okay, what you'll notice is that stock into the gap but never really get over 1290. Okay, so 1300 1290 has, along with this line, has served as a very strong supply line. And here you can see we are virtually sitting on a precipice, the breakdown of which has already happened. But if we get some volume play into this, then it would have been lovely. But before we integrate volumes, look at the various levels that we have drawn. Then once this bottom is broken, you have a direct support line which is at about 1200 odd levels, 1200, 1203. Now this 1203 is coming from two aspects. One is this gap and support level here, okay, and this 1200 is the uh, rectangular breakdown level ka target, which is equal to the height of this horizontal channel. So you got a very strong level at 1200. Now once this level gets broken, then you can have 1180. So the momentum of this downtrend can bring the stock between 1200 and 1280 at the first instance. And now another thing that we have done is we have taken this swing high to draw further lines. So when you take the swing high, you are getting two levels which are 1.618 and two times that high, and this is actually working out to 1130 and 1067. See, mark how this 1067 line conjuncts with this support line which is coming in from various uh, peaks and bottoms that we have drawn. Okay, so you're getting confluence of factors, and in technical analysis, if you have multiple confluence factors, then it works in your favor because it's all about geometry, right? So these are the levels that we have, and then the 2.618 level, which is 963, is very close to a 933, which is the minimum swing low that we are expecting if we think that the entire larger trend is over. Okay, uh, so let's zoom in more and see what is happening, right? So as we speak, this is a live construct that we are doing. The price is at 1241 and it is gradually weakening. Okay, so let's take in more studies with all the indicators. So one discouraging factor is that there is not volume. So we can expect that this level may or may not be protected. Other thing is that the ADX, which has started moving up and with the trend of this thing, is showing that there is strength in the downtrend. Also, we have the MACD uh, cutting out here on the downside, okay, which is another bear sign, and Williams percentage is a 6-day format because I'm essentially when I'm trading, I'm looking at extremely short term, and this works very well for me. Is coming into the oversold zone, but that does not mean that it is actually oversold. So we have got a number of factors out here that are at play. So we have potential trend line violation. We have momentum picking up, although the volume is not there, and we have MACD also uh, giving a sell signal. So definitely trend breakdown, weakness in indicators, and all coming together, right? Now let's go to a more actionable level, which is your hourly charts, and see what is happening. So see on the hourly charts, there is a clear cut breakdown, right? This, let's zoom out a bit so it gives you more perspective. So see, this horizontal line has never been breached, which has been support zone. Here you have multiple support levels which are now out today, okay? And this bottom of 1232 could be the last support. So we are seeing 1225 to 1232 being the last level of any support in the stock. And if that breaks, then mind you, we might be going towards 933. Okay. So these are the two aspects that I've shared with you. We've seen the hourly charts. Now let's go to an even more finer timeline, which is a 5-minute chart, and see what is happening. But before that, let's go back to the hourly charts and just see what the indicators are suggesting. Let's zoom in on the time frame. So, clear cut momentum is with us, and this momentum was initiated well about 1280, right? So, we had the red line cutting the blue line on the ADX, that was the L signal, the reversal in the ADX indicator, right? And mind you, although on the hourly charts it is showing it is oversold and there is lack of volume. So what it suggests that there could be a pullback, but now I am thinking that this level of 1248 to 1250 could be tested, but we don't know. And there is a clear cut sell signal out here, and it is in the downward direction MACD. Now let's come to the 5-minute chart for the guys who trade intraday, right? The intraday showing that okay, the ADX, notice these two things, the ADX momentum and the MACD kind of bottomed out together. The peak of the ADX move, which is the strength of the trend, and the direction MACD, which was going down, kind of peaked, right? And then you had the Williamson percentage are quickly putting in a overbought zone. And see, then you had a horizontal kind of trend with the market moving down. And what we have now here are a couple of things which are coming up. So we have the DMI moving up, ADX line moving up. The DMI did not really cut a blue line on the downside, though both were converging downward. And we have the MACD coming in for a sell. Okay, so these are my limited contributions to you. And this is how we would take multi-time frame analysis, starting right from the weekly charts, just to sorry, monthly charts, just to kind of uh, fill you in again. We drew the trend line, got the forms in place, studied all these things. Then we went down to a lower level, which is the weekly charts, to take our analysis. We've seen how we've drawn the constructs of the trend lines. Then we went on to the daily charts where we take action. And what we noticed was that various levels were being broken. We studied all the supply points, distribution lines, the support levels, and we've earmarked all the support levels that can work the stock. And then finally we went to the hour charts to see how they work. So as I told you on the, you know, this, although it is breaking that 1240 level, you know, the stock is kind of on the percentage are oversold, so there could be a throwback, right? So this is the hourly chart, and on the very actionable chart, which is a 5 minute chart, also here it is showing overbought. Now, one factor I wanted to show you, we are always wanting these kind of moves where it hits the oversold zone and comes back. It will not stay very long in the oversold zone. Okay, so see here it is oversold for uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 times. So these oversold zones, although it is oversold, but staying very long in oversold zone shows that there is weakness. So you virtually notice not much throwback, right? And it resumes the trend down. Okay, see again coming back into mean territory, but stock is sideways, suggesting that whenever it turned down, it would go down, right? Then we have this put in oversold. Now this is a nice uh, short oversold. So we had a correction in the market, but again notice it is not too deep. The throwback is not too deep. So what that suggests, we will test again, right? And this is exactly what is happening. So today is the last date of the settlement. So for technical reasons, also the market can be coming down. But what is clearly visible to us is that the trend may have been broken. And if you get a long candle down day tomorrow, then uh, you know it's a lovely trade. And on that trade, your 1250 could be your stop loss. So that's all from me. A disclaimer is that this was only for educational purposes, multi-time frame analysis using a very live example of Reliance Industries. We covered various aspects. We covered Gann, we covered long-term trends, we covered multiple time frame analysis, we covered patterns, and we covered intraday trading techniques also. So that's all from my side. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to help you. And that's all from my side. Ciao.